that time I feel like, oh, just so, kind of that, but I never seen the capital city have a ocean, Manila Bay. That is very impressive to me also. That things I also very envy, and then that's why I wanted to go Philippines to do something or work there, kind of that. Magandang gabi po everyone! Ako si Jisoo. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will watch the rising economy of Philippines. Before past few years, I watched a lot of economic news about Philippines. Like when I was 20 or 21, kind of that time I was very interested about travel abroad. So that time I searched like Southeast Asia, Thailand, Philippines, kind of that countries. So that's why 2020 my plan was visit Philippines and then to do English study and also same times to do travel also. Anyways, that experience makes me interested about Philippines economy, so that's why today I choose this video. So now let's go together. Global Index.
The Philippines, one of the most dynamic economies in the Southeast Asia region.
Yes.
With increasing urbanization, a growing middle class, and
increasing urbanization, totally agree. Cause when I was middle school student, that time my father visited Philippines. First time I remember, that time he showed me about Manila, Palawan, Boracay, Cebu picture to me. That time I feel like, oh, just so, kind of that. But the recent visit Philippines is, I remember 2018 or 2019. That time he showed me that city totally changed. A lot of buildings exist and then all cities totally changed, like pub, cafe, kind of all things different. So I feels like very totally different and then wow, world, especially Philippines, change it very fast and then grow very fast. That time my feeling is that.
Large and young population. This country has seen many ups and downs in the history. From one of the contenders of Asia's tiger economy, to the lower income country.
The tiger economy. Tiger economy means the highest economy, right?
So stick around, and let's find out what this rising economy is like. The Philippines was once a model of development, and also second among East Asian economies after Japan. In the 1960s, when South Korea was a land of peasants, the Philippines was one of the Asia's industrial powerhouses.
Oh yes, I know. That time Philippines was very rich countries. I studied that information in my textbooks, so that time I was very impressive.
They produced consumer goods, processed raw materials, and had assembly plants for automobiles, televisions, and home appliances. But in the 1970s and 80s, the Philippines' economy declined, while its neighbors such as Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan made exponential growth. The major reason behind this decline was the country's protectionist policy. You see, after World War II, imports of the Philippines increased drastically. At the same time, exports reduced. This led the country to follow protectionist policy. Due to this, they lost many valuable investments that time. Other reasons for this include political and social.
So after World War II, the import is increased or decreased, so that's why Philippines economy goes down. This mean?
And corruption. Due to all of this, the Philippines also fell out of the race of Asian tiger economies. But by the start of 2000s, the Philippines economy started to grow again.
Yes.
You see, many countries achieve their economic growth by slowly transitioning from agriculture to industry to service sector.
Yes. Yes, that is very natural thing. I also studied first is farming, and then second is manufacturing, and then last is service or kind of system. So yes, I know that.
Philippines, this transition was very quick. The service sector of the Philippines overtook the industrial sector in terms of GDP contribution during the early 80s. The GDP contribution of this sector increased from 36% in 1980 to 60% today.
Wow, this is very high growth, right? 36%, but now 60. Wow.
service sector today employs 56% of the country's workforce, which is more than the agricultural and industrial sectors combined.
어,
The main reason behind the growth of service sector is, the Philippines was a former US territory. And the US had a very strong cultural impact on Philippines.
yes.
More than 90% of the people in the country speak English as their second language.
Yes. So they have a very good competition skills to with others because their official languages is English also. So when Filipinos go abroad to get a job, kind of that, they get a lot of advantage because they can speak English well, totally.
The cultural similarities gave them the opportunity to become the most popular business process outsourcing country. Plus, it is also popular for other back office jobs. And all of this for significantly low cost than the Western countries. Now, if you look at the industrial sector, it still holds 30% share in the country's GDP and employs 18% of the workforce.
Oh, 30% GDP and then 18% is workplace.
Yet this seems
This is also
considerably
very
low.
big part in
the reason
Philippines
behind
economy, right?
Lies in the geography of Philippines. You see, the country is spread over 7,000 islands.
Yes.
This makes transportation
7,474, right? 7474. 7476. Anyways, a lot of island, right?
very difficult. And it also limits land for development. Hence, this explains why Manila, the capital of Philippines, is one of the densest city in the world.
Yes.
Plus
The
high-
most dense city, and then also I never seen the capital city have a ocean, Manila Bay. That is very impressive to me also. That is very good.
energy prices here make them more unattractive for manufacturers. This is why Philippines' economy turned to the service sector so quickly. In the 80s and 90s.
That's why service sector is very quickly grows in Philippines.
Now, even though the geography brings in disadvantages, it also has a bright side. You see, some of their islands and beaches are consistently named as the best in the world.
Yes.
The country is also a home to world-renowned natural wonders, like underground rivers and rice terraces.
Yes. Oh, that rice terrace is the most largest, and then I heard that is seventh mysterious things in the world, right? My father tell me about that. Philippines exists seventh mysteries in the world. I wanted to visit there
They
also.
also have incredible diving spots, rich biodiversity, and much more. Things like these give tourism a significant boost.
Yes,
Many
tourism
economists
is
believe
very
that
important
tourism
these
will be the
days
major
economy,
sector
I
in the future.
think.
Another source that brings a big chunk of income is remittance. The remittance accounts for more than 9% of the Philippines' GDP. This makes them the fourth largest in terms of remittance. The major reason behind this is, the country has a large and young workforce.
Yes, a lot of young people exist, right? In Korea, these days birth rate under than 1, so it's very serious and then very not good things for future economy, but Philippines have a lot of young generation, so they have a lot of powers to future economy. So that things I also very envy, and then that's why I wanted to go Philippines to do something or work there, kind of that.
In fact, the average age of a Filipino is just 25 years.
Oh,
But
25
the
is
country lied to
totally
create
very
well-paid
young.
jobs to this huge manpower. So, in order to make more money, people tend to go work in foreign countries.
Yes.
Another
They called OFW, right? Overseas Filipino worker. Overseas Filipino worker is very important to Filipino economy. I watched it in news before.
reason is, the Philippines has a good education system which is suitable for many foreign countries. So, the Filipinos usually have the required skills to be hired.
Yes.
Well, things look pretty good till here.
Their advantage is first, English is very free cause their official languages is English, and then second, they have suitable education, so they have very powerful to work to other countries also. That is impressive.
But wait, we still haven't talked about the challenges yet.
Challenges.
First,
Now
let's talk about the
challenges
FDI.
things.
Compared to other regional countries, the Philippines has quiet low flow of foreign direct investments.
Uh,
There are many reasons for that. Like the relatively poor infrastructure. This is a main problem for both industrial as well as tourism sectors. Also, some economic policies are making it harder for companies to do business.
so foreigners, companies, or businessmen, it will be hard to do business cause Filipino policies exist something hard to foreigners, businessmen, right? This part is right.
Today, the Philippines is ranked 95th in the Ease of Doing Business Index. And this is really not good.
That
Now
is
if we
really
take the
not good things.
service sector, the main pillar of the economy. Then yes, it might also face challenges in the future. As companies around the world are now looking to use artificial intelligence. Companies are promoting AI-backed chat boxes and Cybertron voice for BPOs and in other areas as well.
But AI and then kind of robot, Cybertron voices kind of that development a lot, but I think kind of that counseling things have to do people, so I don't know well, but I think even if robot skills, AI skills increase more, but counseling part kind of call centers have to use people. This is just my opinion. Anyways, let's go more.
So relying heavily on any one sector might not be a good move in the future. Now if you look at the present, then lockdowns due to the pandemic made the situation worse for the domestic economy of Philippines.
Yes, these days Philippines economy depend on a lot of tourist section, so that's why this present time is hard.
You see, the Philippines is still heavily dependent on cash transactions. Majority of people here don't even have a bank account.
Oh, majority people don't have a bank account. Oh.
Makes it harder for the government to provide relief packages.
Oh yes, that will be hard to give. Government provide relief
Even though
packages.
the Philippines has managed to lift many people out of extreme poverty, this
Oh.
crisis could lead to increased poverty rate. And also income inequality between the urban and rural. Which is not good in microeconomic terms. So, in order to make economic progress, the Philippines really need to work on stuff. If they did it right, then who knows, someday they could be an economic powerhouse.
Today I watched the rising economy of Philippines. I think future economy will be very important about like tourism places, tourism section, and then service section. So in my thought, Philippines is very good country to do that because a lot of island, more than 7,000, and then like the most famous, the most beautiful vacation spot in the world, like Boracay, Palawan, Cebu. And then also, service future is also good cause Filipinos basically understand and then can speak English. So like other foreigners, very easy to visit Philippines and then communicate with them. A lot of tourists go Philippines to do tour again. So anyways, after this situation, the Philippines economy will grow much more higher than before, step by step, and then more quick than other countries. This is my opinion. So that's why I wanted to do something in Philippines or kind of find a job in Philippines. So that's why I try to do this now. So I think Philippines future is very good and then very bright. This is my opinion. So yes. Today also, thank you for watching my video. Salamat po. See you again. Bye bye.